Hey guys, how's it going? Got some great images here from a recent ride I took down to Gifford Pinchot National Forest. In this video, I just want to go through kind of how I take my photos when I'm taking a little trip on my R1200 GS motorcycle. I bring all of my gear with me, so I don't do that much hiking. I generally take photos kind of from the side of the road. So I'll see something and then I'll just pull off and take some photos. Sometimes if I'm out in the forest, I'll do more hikes and whatnot, but I don't like to leave all of my stuff on the bike and then go far away from it because, well, I just want it to be there when I get back. So I have two waterfalls that I took pictures of and another shot that I just took from the side of the road. I lost the GoPro footage for the best waterfall, which is a big bummer. But first of all, let's just get you out there in the forest. On this ride, I came from the north of Gifford Pinchot, so I rode from my place and I arrived on the first night camping in Gifford from the north. I stayed at a campground called Twin Falls Campground, and that's where one of these images is taken from. The second night, or should I say the second day, I rode to the south all the way down to the Columbia, and then I headed west along the Columbia and then back up north into Gifford again. Absolutely beautiful area. Camped again that night, and then the third day I rode back home. That was that's a great little ride, you know, 2 nights camping, 3 days on the bike. I'm ready to be home after that, you know? A good bed, good shower, you know, not waking up before it's light out to go shoot some photos or whatever. So that was really great. All right, let's get into some ride footage.
Just where it was needed, gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing, faces merchant change, but your face remains the same. Sorrows will be here by dawn. When we're finally sober, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt. A significant life, just what it was needed. Clean in the blackest night, cloistered in injustice dead, and in the eyes of time, nobody is losing. The sparrows will be here by dawn. When we finally sober, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom and ice will melt. We'll always remember how it felt.
All right, on this first image that I have here, this was just a barn that I saw on the side of the road. and I just pulled off, and I wanted to take some photos. It was kind of a smoky day. We had some forest fires happening, and I knew the photos weren't going to come out really well, but I wanted to get more used to filming myself taking these photos. And actually, this one shot came out pretty well. But you can see Mount Adams in the distance, kind of obscured with smoke. But really what I was going after was that band of trees right there in the middle. I really enjoy having different elements in a photo. So for instance, you can see that fencing that goes across. So maybe there's a pasture either in the front or behind, and then that beautiful row of trees just kind of setting themselves apart from that other darker, look that you would get from pines. And then of course Mount Adams in the background there. I thought that one came out pretty nice. Wouldn't say it's really print worthy, but it's not a bad shot. So for this first waterfall, I just noticed this just driving down the road. So I was just driving and there's a waterfall right off the side of the road. So I stopped, got out my gear. I did the GoPro, like I said, just right from the chest mount. And this is something I really want to get better at in the future, which is, since I travel on the bike, I always tell myself, there isn't enough space to take all this extra gear. I can't hike around with extra tripods and all this other stuff. Well, I'm trying to remove excuses that I'm giving myself. So what I'd really like to do in the future is have this, what I'm doing right now, happen on scene. And I can do that with the GoPro if I just have a selfie stick, because I can just use that to record what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And then I don't have to bring 2 tripods or any of that extra gear that I really don't want to lug around on the bike. So you're seeing what I'm taking there at the waterfall, but basically what I do is I have a 30mm lens that I bring an ND filter for, and it's a variable ND, and then these shots are right around 1 second. That's what I've found to be a pretty decent exposure time. But when you're taking long exposure waterfall shots or any water, you just want to make sure to be careful with your highlights, because it's really easy just to blow out those highlights. So somewhere around 1 second, depending on where you have your ND filter set. It's kind of what I go for. All right, this third image, which is this image that I have in front of me here, I thought came out really good. I did print it, but then after I printed it, I thought, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about this waterfall shot. This is the waterfall that I stayed at the first night. This is Twin Falls. I really enjoy staying near some kind of moving water because it's just so relaxing to fall asleep in a tent near like a babbling brook, or, here in this case, a waterfall is actually pretty loud. So you don't hear those little sticks cracking and like any of the movement from animals and stuff moving around you that you might wake up and hear. You don't hear any of that. So you can really sleep well. So I got up early and I shot a bunch of these different shots in this location, but one that I really like had the fire pit right there in the front. And I just thought, this is really typical Pacific Northwest. We have these amazing landscapes, we have these amazing scenes just everywhere, and they're kind of hidden. I mean, Twin Falls Campground, there's probably 4 or 5 sites there. It's definitely off the beaten path, and I've been there 3 or 4 times and I've never seen another person. I do know people camp there because you can see that there are people, but it's just really spectacular. I didn't get the great fall colors that I wanted, but it was a little early. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think about these 3 photos, if you like either one of them. If you have any tips on recording yourself taking photos, I'd love to hear your tips if you have any. I'm trying to keep my gear at a minimum, so I'm not carrying around a whole bunch of extra stuff on the bike, but at the same time, I want to get better at showing how I take some of these photos, because a lot of times I come home from these little short trips with spectacular shots, and I just think it's pretty easy to share this stuff now, just toss it on the YouTubes. So why not? Why not give it a shot? So I guess that's about it. Thanks a lot for watching. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. Definitely hit that like button and subscribe for more photography and motorcycle related content. If you do like any of these images, definitely leave me a comment, and check out studio2ullc.com for some images that I'm selling right now. All right, ADV on, and we'll talk to you later.